Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. The reason today's greeting is this mellow is because I will be talking about a topic which is very sad, which is the declining status of education in India and in particular in my state, West Bengal. For the last 1.5 years, the government of West Bengal has decided to not reopen colleges despite choosing to reopen every other possible avenue of public interaction. Even local trains were working for a few months between October to May. Even in the months of January and February, when COVID was at an all time low in West Bengal and in India, the government of West Bengal decided to reopen school only for the children of classes 9 to 12 and not for the college students who were obviously at a lesser risk of being affected by COVID since they were above 18 years of age. The reason they did not do this was because of the upcoming Vidhan Sabha elections, where these college students would have been voters, and the school students, since they are not of the age of universal adult suffrage, they would not have voted in the elections. Therefore, if something happened to them, they wouldn't have been able to directly influence the result of the votes which were coming up for the state government. The importance of education for the government of West Bengal and for the government of India has been on the lowest possible priority for the last 1.5 years, especially after the pandemic hit us. It has occurred to the governments that we can actually run the semblance of education online. We can actually sieve out the competition, especially the competition which comes from households which are not so well to do, which comes from households where they are not sure of what they will eat in the upcoming days or months, of households where privilege is not that common. These households saw a lot of people turning their backs on education, especially because they could not afford the online equipments they needed in order to continue their education. The shift of the education system from the offline mode to the online mode tells us only one thing, is that education has now become a tool of the privileged. Many of you might be wondering, why has this been done? Education is supposed to be one of the backbones of the society, and a government, no matter how good or bad it is, must always look to give people employment, and the only way to give people employment is by educating them. Well, that is not the case, especially in the state government of West Bengal. There are people who have been given employments by the government itself without any care for their educational qualification, exclusively based on their party connections. They're being given the posts of civic volunteers who have outnumbered the number of regular police officers or regular traffic controllers in the state of West Bengal in the last 2 or 3 years. And there are many such posts being created by the government to give its people employment. The issue of employment has been addressed, therefore, people don't really care about education at all. The second reason is that there was a popular quote in Satyajit Ray's film Hirok Rajar Deshe.
এরা যত বেশি পড়ে তত বেশি জানে তত কম মানে
Which translates to the more they learn, the more they know, and the less they obey. Which is exactly what this government, both the governments of India and the government of West Bengal, doesn't want us to do. It is that it doesn't want us to question them. It is the same reason why the state government of West Bengal has banned entrance examinations from being conducted even in the online mode in the year 2021. There was absolutely no reason to stop online examinations from being conducted. There are many universities outside the state of West Bengal who have their centers in West Bengal. I personally went to give the entrance exam for the PhD examination of English for the University of Hyderabad yesterday morning at Belghoria, and I had to go there. It was an offline exam, right? And in the next month the UGC NET will be conducted. In the meantime, the Delhi University entrance test, the JNU entrance test, the BHU entrance test, Pune, Pondicherry, I can go on with this list, but universities outside West Bengal have their seats in West Bengal, and the students of West Bengal will definitely appear for these universities now more and more, especially since the big universities of West Bengal like Jadavpur Presidency or Calcutta for that matter are not allowed to hold their entrance examinations to determine who will make it through to their university degrees at the master degree or subsequent levels. The reason why people want to leave the state of West Bengal to pursue their higher education is precisely because there is no one to appreciate it here. The entire spectrum of higher education in West Bengal is rigged with politics, corruption, and many more things like that. Favoritism, nepotism, these things are there, but there is also plain wrongdoings undergoing in the workings of academia. Therefore, under such circumstances, if one could stall real education for a significant amount of time, it could mean that a significant amount of people in and around the world of academia would therefore go out of West Bengal or go out of India and therefore not be their headache anymore. What they are failing to realize at this point is that these are the people who would have become your assets in the days to come and not your liabilities. They wouldn't have been your headaches, but they would have made your headlines. Therefore, if you have not understood this problem, and I'm now directly talking to the state authorities of West Bengal here, if you have not understood this point by now, then perhaps you shouldn't be running a government at all. I know there are many who are wondering, then how are other state universities managing to keep their centers in West Bengal, especially since the government of West Bengal has cited COVID as the reason why they don't want these examinations to take place. The reason is that not all of these decisions are with the government of West Bengal exclusively. It is a tad bit surprising that the central government is actually wanting to take these examinations forward, but the reason why they are doing it is because they are not as stupid as our West Bengal state government. They don't want to give away their intentions right at the beginning. Therefore, they are trying to take these tests, but they are slowly taking over the authorities who will be taking these tests. In the year 2017, when I was appearing for my master degree examinations, all the different university examinations were being conducted by the universities themselves. Over the years, they have slowly, one by one, gone over to the National Testing Agency or the NTA. But the fact remains is that from the next year, even the University of Hyderabad is supposed to go to the NTA, and from the next to next year, that is from 2023, all these examinations are supposed to be combined under the broad heading of Central Universities Common Entrance Test CUCET, which is conducted even now, but these better central universities are excluded from it. But the problem with that policy would be that if one of your exams go badly, then you don't have any other chance, which is not true now, because now all the universities take their exams separately, though most of them are still taken by NTA. Now this NTA is run in collaboration with the central government, and the type of questions they are setting for entrance exams and for the UGC NET exam tell us that they are actually trying more subtle way to propagate their agenda into the minds of the young people and not being so blatantly obvious about it like the state government of West Bengal, but they are trying it nonetheless. They are not trying to sell you the fact that education is not important. They are trying to sell to you the fact that education according to their terms is more important than education according to your terms. So keeping all this in mind, we are trying to come to a realization that education has now shifted to the bottommost priority of all these state governments. So that leaves us a question as to what you and I, people who want education to flourish, what can we do? The answer to the question what you and I can do is very simple. We can raise our voice. Back in the day, not back in the day per se, of just a few weeks back, when the University of Calcutta announced its final semester routine for its students of the first, second and third year who are about to appear for the second, fourth and sixth semesters respectively, they had two exams on the same day for all these 3 years. And the students of the University of Calcutta, along with some external help, managed to push the university to change their schedule within like 7 to 10 days. And they managed to do it quite quickly and quite effectively. The university changed its second year and third year examination schedules. The fact is that if there is enough resistance, if there is enough pushback, people will be bound to think about why such a discrimination for education exists. Why couldn't there be online tests? Universities like Jadavpur and Presidency were ready to do it, but the government didn't allow us. Therefore, we must ask a question: why has the government allowed an institution like St. Xavier's to conduct its examinations, though it was conducted online? But it was conducted nonetheless. What difference would it have made if Jadavpur Presidency or Calcutta or any other university for that matter would have conducted their examinations as well? Ask these questions. Use your social media platforms, your YouTube channel, your Instagram account, your Facebook account, your Twitter, any social media platform that you can possibly get. Use them to ask these questions. Push the government, make all kinds of noise to ensure that the government actually sticks to its word of reopening the schools and colleges in November, when 50% of West Bengal's population has already been vaccinated with one dose at least. Try and make sure that you are doing your part. That's all we can do. And that is all for today. Thank you for watching my video. I will see you all in the next one. Till then, hasta la vista.